Okay, hello everyone. My name's Cal and I'm with the ARC team here at EF. And today we're going to take a little bit of a look at the visa steps for Canadian citizens looking to get that Chinese work visa and come and work for us here. If you're not from Canada, if you're from the US, South Africa, New Zealand, Ireland, Australia, or the UK, check the description box below and you'll find links to videos that relate to your country and the visa steps for your country. Okay, so the first thing we'll do is we'll take a kind of general overview of the different steps and then we'll have a little bit of a look at each step in more depth. So step one is notarization of degree, criminal background record check and TEFL certification. Step two, authentication of your degree, criminal background record check and TEFL certification with Global Affairs Canada. Step 3, authentication of a degree, criminal background record check, and TEFL certification with the Chinese consulate. Step 4, send the documents to the school. And then finally, step 5, receive the documents from the school and then use them to apply for that Z or working visa. Alright, so the first thing you're going to need to do, step 1, is complete your police background record check. So for Canadians, the approximate timeline for this is up to 3 working days. This sort of thing that's just flipped in here, this is an example, a sample of a police background record check in Canada. The documentation that you'll need electronic fingerprints and you'll need your completed application form, which can be found at this website, which I'm not even going to attempt to say because I know I'll mess it up, but you can see it there on the screen. So approximate cost of this is 25 Canadian dollars. Paper fingerprints can be used for this process, but the processing time will go up to about 22 weeks if you use paper fingerprints, and therefore it is much more efficient to use electronic fingerprints. So once you get your police background record check, step 2, you're going to want to notarise a copy of your bachelor's degree and your criminal background record check. So an approximate timeline for this is that it can usually be done same day. And this thing that's dropped in here, this is an example of a notarial certificate. They'll probably stamp the documents as well and then give you this certificate. The documentation that you'll need here, you'll need your original degree plus a colour photocopy of your degree. You'll also need your criminal background record check and you'll need some ID as well. Some cities require that the TEFL certification go through the notarization, legalization, authentication process as well. If that is the case and you're going to a city that needs your TEFL certificate to be notarized as well, then obviously you'll need your TEFL certificate for this stage as well. You can check with the HR team in the city that you are going to work in and they'll be able to tell you if you need to get your TEFL certificate notarized or not. Approximate cost for this is about $49.50 Canadian dollars. This can be done at any local public notary, lawyer or solicitor. Everything must be notarised as a true and original copy of the degree. And like I said, check with the city you're going to if they require the TEFL certificate to go through that stage as well. And if they do, take your TEFL certificate along and get that notarised as well. Once everything's been notarised, you're going to go to step 3, which is authenticate your documents with Global Affairs Canada. So an approximate timeline for this is also same day, and this stamp that's just kind of popped up here, this is what the stamp looks like when your documents have been finished being authenticated with GAC. So the documentation you'll need a legalisation application form, authentication application form, which can be found in the Global Affairs Canada website. You'll need your notarised copy of your degree, you'll need your original copy of your degree, and then you'll need your notarised and original copy of your police record check and TEFL certificate if your TEFL certificate is required, and then obviously some ID as well. This is a free process in Canada, so it's not going to cost you anything. And some things to know, this can be done in person or sent by post or courier to the GAC. I put in Wellington here, but obviously not in Wellington. It's in Ottawa. It can also be done by post. If it's done by post, it can take up to around 20 business days before you get it back. Under no circumstances should any seals or any stamps be obscured once you get it back. And like I said, check to see if you need the TEFL done as well. And if you do, get it done at this stage as well. So then once you get everything authenticated by Global Affairs Canada, you're going to look to authenticate your legalised degree with the police and police check with the Chinese consulate. So, approximate timeline for this is 4 days. So, this thing that's just dropped down here, this is the seal that will be on all your documents once you get them back from the Chinese consulate and they've been authenticated. The documentation that you need authentication application form, you'll need a notarized and legalized copy of your degree, you'll need your original degree, your legalized copy of your police check and TEFL certificate if required, and then ID. The authentication application form can be found online. Just Google Canadian Chinese Consulate and you'll get it on there. So an approximate cost for this is $30 Canadian per document. These documents can be submitted in person or using a third party, so a family member or an agency, for example. Next day and 3-day rush services are available at an extra cost of $50 Canadian per document. And authenticated documents will return with that seal that I already spoke about on the right. So once you get everything authenticated with the Chinese consulate, you get all your documents back and they contain that seal. Moving on to step 5 is to email documents to the school. So approximate timeline for this, email them the same day, get them back from the consulate, get them scanned in and get them emailed over the same day. Once the school gets them, it'll take them around 2 to 8 weeks to process that invitation letter or work permit and then get that sent back to you. This process time varies massively from city to city, so check with the HR team in the city. They'll give you an idea of how long it's going to take, and then also they'll keep you updated through the process and tell you when it's been sent and where in the process things are. This thing that's come in to the right here, this is an example of an invitation letter. Your invitation letter or work permit might not look exactly like this, but it will have the red stamp that you can see, the red circular stamp that you can see on the bottom right-hand corner there. This is like an official Chinese stamp that's in all official Chinese documents. So the documentation that you're going to need to send all of these things over to the school. So authenticated copy of degree, authenticated copy of police check, a copy of your passport page, so that's the page with your picture, date of birth and all that kind of thing on it. You'll need a professional headshot photo, so that's a passport style photo, your unobscured face with a white background, your TEFL certificate, and obviously if it is a city that needs the authentication process done on a TEFL certificate, your authenticated TEFL certificate. You'll need a signed copy of your medical disclosure form. I've made another video that you can find in the description below that explains a little bit about the medical procedure and what exactly that involves. You'll need a photocopy of your most recent and up-to-date CV, and then a copy of your reference letter written by your most recent employer on company-headed paper. Obviously, the approximate cost of this is free because you're just scanning and emailing documents. And as soon as the school gets the documents from you, they'll start the process of applying for the work permit or invitation letter. Alright, so then once you get everything back, 2 to 8 weeks later, once you get everything back and you get the official documents sent to you by the school, you're going to apply for your Z visa. So this will take between 4 to 7 working days. This thing that's just flipped around here, once you get your passport back from the Chinese consulate, this is the visa that will be stuck inside of it. And the documentation that you need all your documents from the previous stage. So that's your authenticated degree, criminal record check, TEFL certificate. You're going to need a passport style photo, your CV, your reference letter, and then anything that the school has sent over to you as well. The approximate cost of this is $100 Canadian plus the agency fee. And things to note here, all the documents should be taken to the Chinese consulate in person or through a third party agency. If done in person, there'll be no agency fee, obviously. There is a rush service that can be done for extra cost, and the costs of that can be found on the Canadian Chinese Consulate website. But please note that if you want to do this through an agency, you cannot use the rush service. Okay, so that's it. Once you get your Z visa back, you're ready to go and you're ready to come to China. So thanks again for listening and watching this video. As always, if you've got any further questions, if you've got any comments, if you're Canadian and you've been through this process, if you want to give us some feedback in the video or feedback in us, leave a comment below, send us an email to fr_art@ef.com. I wish you the best of luck with the visa procedure and thanks again.